Social anxiety, also known as social phobia, is something more common than you think. It may happen when we're hanging out with friends, when we're at a party, when we're at school or at work. In this video, I will share some easy and practical techniques that you can use by yourself to manage social anxiety. Those are also something I've learned along the way of my healing social anxiety, because if we're talking about 5 or 10 years ago, I wouldn't even be thinking about putting myself in front of a camera. It would freak me out. But here I am. So let's get started. The first technique is visualization. Visualization is such a powerful tool in psychological practice because we want to make sure when we enter the social occasions we are calm and we're relaxed. Because most of the time when we're under social occasions, we feel like this very uncomfortable feeling. We feel our heart racing, sometimes even short of breath, body tension, like sometimes it's super stiff, like we don't know where to put our hands, we don't know how to move. We may experience palm sweats or dizziness, yet we try so hard to not people notice how nervous or anxious we are because we may be labeled as weird, which actually causes us to avoid social occasions even more, making it a vicious cycle. But if we proactively prepare ourselves, if we proactively put ourselves in a relaxing state before entering social occasions, it's going to make such a big difference. There are 2 types of visualization that we can use. The first one is to visualize yourself before going to the social occasions. Visualize yourself in somewhere like you enjoy. For example, for me, I would envision myself by the beach. I would lie there by myself at sunset, feel the warm breeze and smell the fresh scents in the air. Everything around me starts to move in slow motion. It just calms me down. It makes me feel safe. Every time I get stressed, not only specifically about social occasions, I would do this visualization. It helps me just calm me down like immediately. Another way I think could be more effective is to visualize entering the social occasions, the upcoming events that you're going to attend. For example, say you're under a scenario that you get invited by your friend to a party. So you can try to visualize yourself, to see yourself as a content and happy person entering the social occasion. The key here is always to picture yourself in a positive light. See yourself calmly and relaxedly entering the social occasion. See yourself express yourself in a very confident way. See people around you, how they talk to you, how they smile at you, and how they take genuine interest in you by listening to you with all ears. Be as vividly as possible. Hear sounds, hear voices, see colors, and smell gourmets. Actively live and remember that moment. Remember how great you feel. Remember how calm and relaxed you feel, like how grounded you feel within your body and how safe you feel. It's super powerful when you try to actively live that moment and actively blend it into part of your experience. If it's possible, keep this visualization practice of your daily routine. Get better at it each time, and you will be amazed how much of a difference it brings to your experience under social occasions in the future. And you'll be amazed of how much a big difference your mindset would be shift to a more positive one. To maximize your visualization results, you can try relaxation techniques like breathing exercise or body scan to individually target your muscle group to relax. For breathing exercises, it's actually very simple. You can go somewhere by yourself, somewhere like you feel comfortable and not easily disturbed by people. For me, I would just, maybe if I'm in public, I would go to a bathroom or something. I would just go to sit in the bench in the park. If I'm at home, that would be even better. It actually doesn't have to be very complicated. I would just breathe in from my nose and hold it for 2 to 4 seconds, and then I'm going to exhale from my mouth. Just do it in the way that you feel most comfortable, because some people like to just inhale or exhale both only from nose or mouth. That's fine. Just try to do this repetition for 7 to 10 times, and you will notice a drastic difference after that. And also for body scan, it gets us in a biological experience of releasing and relaxation. For example, for me, I'm so lazy, I would just Google, or just go on YouTube and search for body scan, 10 minutes. And then I would listen to the instruction which directs me to my eyes, eyebrows, and nose, mouth, jaws. Just target each muscle of my whole body and relax that part before moving on to another one. Once you finish this exercise, you will feel so much lighter and so much freer, and just witness this magical moment. I will share some of my favorite body scan videos down in the description box. You can check them out later. Secondly, I wanted to introduce some practical tips for you to manage social anxiety in public. The first tip is to stop being inwardly focused. One thing we often do that causes us to suffer so much from anxiety and fear is that we tend to be so much inwardly focused. We think about ourselves, we're so self-conscious to a point that we barely notice what's going on around us. We just get trapped in our head. When we do this, we are thinking about well, how do I appear as smart, competent, and elegant to other people? And what should I say to make people perceive me in a way? We listen to respond instead of really hearing what the other person is saying, which prohibits us from building real and genuine connections. If we reverse the role, we put ourselves in other people's shoes, just try to imagine how much do you care? What stupid things people said, what stupid behaviors they've done. We couldn't barely remember because we don't really care. We are indifferent. We're only obsessed about how we look, of what we said, and how we behave. Because we are trying to create stories we need to be this and we need to be that, and we are concerned about how other people perceive us, instead of really being ourselves, which just creates more anxiety because we don't know how to be ourselves anymore. Even if some people compliment on us, we just dare not take it, we dare not receive it because we don't know if they're complimenting on the real me or the false image that I pretend to win their approval, to win their and affection. So what should we do to avoid being inwardly focused? Try to put your attention externally. Try to notice the environment. Try to hear voices, see colors, and see people. Notice the room decoration, notice the food on the table, notice what people are wearing, their facial expressions, their tones, and their life stories and all that, instead of grabbing that attention back to yourself. The second one is pause and take a deep breath. Inevitably, no matter how hard we try, we will still experience some kind of social anxiety under some certain occasions. When you are feeling that things are getting out of control, when you are feeling that your anxiety and fear are being too scary to you, I don't want you to pretend that you're okay. Just go somewhere else. A location shift can really help you shift your mood and mindset as well. For example, go outside to breathe in some fresh air. If not, just go to the bathroom. Because when you are in a different place, when you're getting detached from that certain situation, you are giving the moment, you are giving the second to pause, do 7 to 10 sets of breathing exercises, which just detach you from that moment. Give yourself the space to not respond to the stories in your head. Also, you can just Google 10 minutes body scan. Just do a quick body scan so that you would feel more refreshed, more prepared going back to that social occasion. The third thing is be kind and compassionate to yourself. The fact that you choose to come to this social occasion, the fact that you choose to not let this fear and anxiety stop you from engaging with other people is such a brave act, and I wanted to applaud you for that. Don't feel embarrassed about being anxious under social occasions. It's not your fault. It's not something that we can control. I feel you. If you can find someone to talk to, if you find someone on set to talk to communicate your fear and anxiety and get their understanding and empathy, is going to be really helpful. If you don't have a friend you can trust at that occasion, text your friend, text your best friend that you can, someone you know that can uplift you, can calm you down, and someone who's loving and gentle and supports you. give them a phone call, text them, and say like, I really need your support and comfort right now. And please say some kind words to me so that I know I can make this, I can do this. There was one time I was on my way to a date because I was too worried that I'm gonna screw this up because I'm not pretty enough or I'm not good enough. So I got too nervous, my hands started to shake, and I feel like I couldn't breathe. My head went dizzy and all that. So I called up my friend, like my best friend, and I told her I need her to support me on this one. I need to hear kind words from her to know that I can do this, I'm good enough, I can make it. So she told me like, you are so precious that you don't even know. You are good enough just the way you are. And it doesn't really matter how other people think of you. If he's not the one, he's not gonna be the one. But I don't want you to lose yourself over this, okay? You are good enough. You don't have to hear the stories that you told yourself negatively. And I think it really helped me release the stress and anxiety, and I took a deep breath and I just went ahead. It's the same thing here. If you have a friend, talk to them. Just talk to them like how much you needed validation right now. Tell them like you're vulnerable right now. If you don't have a friend that you can trust, you can do this to yourself. Just try to picture what would you say to your friend, someone you love, like a family member or friend. What kind words would you say to them? And extend that love and empathy towards yourself and feel that and live it. And that would make a biggest difference. Alright my friends, I hope you like this video. I hope it's helpful. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. If you wanted to see more videos like this in the future, please subscribe. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.